It does it not pain you that in the 21st century that we need organisations like this, that there are young people sleeping on the streets?
It really does. I mean, I've been working for St Basil's now for just over a month, and I love my job, but I can't stand the reasons why I have to do it, because obviously as long as I have this job, as long as these problems are going to continue in the West Midlands with young people. I mean, we've been a charity, as you say, Bob, it's been going for the last 40 years. Started in Birmingham, founded by Les Milner, and we have literally spent our entire time in the West Midlands trying to solve this problem. And it's a problem that I wish could go away, but unfortunately won't. And as long as it continues, St Basil's will remain.
Is it any worse now than it was 40 years ago?
I think it's probably, in my opinion, probably round about the same, but it's probably highlighted more now by the way the world communicates with one another. I think the problem could be a lot worse if it wasn't for St Basil's, if I'm honest. We helped, for example, 4,000 young people last year. People come through the doors of our youth hub looking to use our services. And that's 4,000 people that could have ended up on the streets if it hadn't been for our help. Now, it isn't just a case of, with St Basil's, of just helping people who are on the streets. It's about giving young people a future for us. We're not just, as I say, finding young people a home. We're giving them a future. We're giving them learning skills and work, prospects as well. We're looking for family mediation. We're doing all those things to help young people as much as we can to prevent them from ending up on the streets. So it could be a lot worse. It'll be well over 100,000 young people that St Basil's has supported in that time. We'll help on average maybe 3,000-4,000 people a year. The charity actually, I mean, the sort of base of the charity was founded in 1972, but obviously it kind of grew from 1975 onwards. And in that time, it has to be well over 100,000. Yeah.
It sounds an awful cliche, but yeah. Is every case different?
Of course it is, yes, absolutely. I mean, there is this misconception that most of the issues that young people have are around, they're troublemakers, or they're on drugs, or there's alcohol involved, or there's other issues like that. But sometimes it's just there's problems in the family home, and what's ended up happening is that the families will come to us looking for support to support the young people which they have. And obviously what we're trying to do is basically make sure that young people don't end up homeless. If you imagine it, the way I describe people, when I talk about St Basil's, is we're almost like a wall that's trying to prevent people from becoming homeless. That is our job, that is our task. Now sometimes, for whatever reason, we can't prevent people from becoming homeless, and then what happens is that we have 26 supported accommodation projects throughout the West Midlands, which we can put people in, various degrees of, whether it's supported accommodation with support workers in there helping them to develop life skills in order that they can leave the accommodation projects and have a better chance in life. But there's various levels of that, which obviously if anybody wants to know a little bit about, they can have a look on our website, stbasils.org.uk.
So the 16 to 25.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get a picture of somebody at 16. Is it often a row in the family, and they just pick up their bag and walk out?
It could be as simple as that. We have a youth hub which is based over in Digbeth. It's a sort of main base, and young people can walk in there any time from 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock Monday to Friday. And usually it could just be a case of that they've had an argument at home. And then what we will do is we've got obviously our support workers there who can then mediate with the family to see if there's been issues there which can be resolved. Sometimes it could just be an argument. Sometimes the young person has just acted out. It could be, just an issue like that. Other times there could be more pressing issues, and that's where St Basil's helps.
Do you turn up some mornings and there's people wrapped in blankets on the doorstep?
Again, that's a sort of misconception that the young person is like that, just wrapped up looking for help. It's not really like that. You have young people who have maybe contacted us through our website or through our Facebook page or through Twitter and things like that, who have said, look, I need help here, what can you do? And we will say, look, come down to the youth hub and we'll talk to you there. There's numbers there as well on the website, which if anybody needs them, they can have a look for. But they don't really come down wrapped in blankets. But we don't find people just lying in the doorway or anything like that. That's what St Basil's is trying to prevent, and that's what we're aiming to do.
So is a lot of the time that they need somebody to come and talk to?
Yeah, sometimes it's just as simple as that. So sometimes I was talking to a few of our support workers the other day there, And one of the common lines that they use to describe that when they've been working with our young people is what they'll say is, you know, someone believed in me. And that's what St Basil's does. It's we believe in young people. Our motto, everything that we do, you know, whether it's the cleaner who works in St Basil's right up to Jean, our chief executive, the motto is young people first. You know, so that's what we do. All that we do is to support young people, and that's what we're doing at St Basil's. So.
Well, I'm thinking, I mean, some of them, if they're 16, 17, 18, are they still at school sometimes?
Some of them could be still at school, some of them could be at college, some of them could have dropped out of the education process. A big part of our work is getting people into that education process, finding work and employment opportunities for them. I mean, we have a set-up at St Basil's called Learning Skills and Work. And one of the things that we did recently was, you know, we're working with a partner. One of our partners is Chiltern Railways, and we've managed to find, you know, 3 young people who probably wouldn't have had any prospects, who probably believed that they didn't have any prospects, but you know, they've just been taken on by Chiltern Railways, you know, and that's opportunities which they could never have dreamed to have had, and that's what we do at St Basil's.
Isn't that the key word there, believed?
Yeah. Someone believed in me. That for me, I mean, as I say, I've only been in the role for the last month, and that is the term which, you know, has stuck with me most, is that, you know, the vast majority of the young people who go through our process of working at St Basil's, you know, they come out of it, and the line that they'll use is, someone believed in me. In terms of what's going on at this point in time, you know, obviously we're living in a difficult time with the economy and things that families are finding it difficult to support. I mean, there's various government cuts that are coming into action as well. You know, there is no sign of things getting easier, but I'd like to think that the work that we are doing at St Basil's is trying to make that situation easier, and that's why that, you know, we need people to support us as much as they can. And I know times are difficult, I know times are hard, but it would be great, you know, that if people could, you know, give us some support, because, you know, the work that we are doing, I think that we are making a real difference to the people in the West Midlands.
How do you get your money then?
Various things come on. You know, obviously we work as part of a housing association as well, so we do get some government funding. Obviously there's things going on there which are still to be you know, sorted out. But a big part of the money is fundraising. We do a lot of fundraising activities. For example, you know, we do a lot of kind of challenge events. We do a lot of fun, quirky events. You know, just in June there, we had the St Basil's Walk, which was a walk which was, you know, it's between you can either do 13 miles or 26 miles. A lot of teams, you know, a lot of companies take part in that. It's a bit like a team building day. One of the big things that we do in the winter months, it's happening the 27th of November this year, is the St Basil's Sleep Out. Where people will sleep out for a night just to support, you know, youth homelessness, and we'll raise money that way. The thing that we're about to launch actually is Bake for St Basil's. A very, very simple thing. I like to think of it as a sort of family thing where families can bake some items and then literally just sell them to raise funds for us as well. So there's various things that people can do. I mean, for example, I just had a chat with someone the other day there who's going to take part in a parachute jump for us. So I don't know if I could talk you into doing it as well, Bob. Do you fancy
You certainly couldn't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Of all the things I might be prepared to do, I have absolutely anything like that. Oh, I go cold at the very thought of it. Yeah. Because I was just going to say, when you mentioned the word challenge there, I was thinking that you're going to be talking about abseiling down buildings and jumping out of aeroplanes.
Well, there is that. I mean, we just had a woman called Judy Smart, who's just cycled from Land's End to John O'Groats for us. And, you know, I mean, that's no mean feat. I'm a cyclist myself, actually. Don't judge me. I wear lycra and things, but don't judge me for that. But you know, that's 1,000 miles that she cycled from one end of the country to the other, you know, to raise money for us. I mean, the thing I've found with St Basil's is that, you know, and what I'm trying to do is I want to make more people aware of St Basil's and realise the work we do. It saddens me that we're a charity that's been based in the West Midlands for over 40 years, and the vast majority of the public don't really know who we are. So I mean, I'm trying to change that, and hopefully, you know, hopefully we can do that. So, yeah.
Because the battle to raise money for every charity doesn't get any easier, does it?
Of course it doesn't, and I think, you know, especially I think there's this misconception, as I've said, you know, earlier, that with young people it's, oh, you know, like maybe they've done something to deserve it or whatever, you know, maybe they've brought this on themselves, but the reality is very different from that. Sometimes, you know, things happen. We've all had those situations in our lives where circumstances just spiral out of control, and sometimes we just need a little bit of support, and that's what we're doing with St Basil's. And I like to think that what we're doing is providing a solution. You know, we are trying to sort the issue of youth homelessness in the West Midlands. And that's
what about public perception of homeless people, particularly young people?
Yes, I think it's sad that people do have the perceptions that they have. I can understand why they might do that, because they may see someone that the perception is a young or a person just sleeping in a doorway with a blanket, you know, begging on the streets. Well, you know, that's not the case for a lot of people. What they want is, as I say, someone to believe in them, someone to give them a chance in life, and sometimes they don't know where to start. I mean, how many times have you had a problem in your life where you're thinking, I want to achieve something, but I don't quite know how to go about it? And what St Basil's is doing is literally giving those young people those opportunities and those skills to go and do that. You know, the realities are that the challenges that we have is that, you know, with the nature of Birmingham as a city, you know, how diverse it is now, we have people from various different faith groups and backgrounds coming to us for help. So yes, our base is you know, we were founded as a sort of, you know, charity for the church, but it's not the case anymore. You know, we still obviously have great ties with the church, and they support us a great deal, but obviously what we are doing is we're finding a lot of people from different backgrounds are needing their help. So obviously, you know, we will never turn anyone away regardless of their background.
Is it more difficult to get other faith groups involved?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, there's various challenges that you have, especially with the nature of our charities. You know, there is this misconception that we are just a Christian group, you know, that we're just going to help people who are of that faith, but that's not the case at all. You know, so when people come to us, and as I say, they come from all different backgrounds, they find very quickly that that's not the case for us. We will support anyone, as I say, who needs our help.
And are you finding more and more that you're getting people from all sorts of different faiths and backgrounds?
Yeah, I would say so. Those numbers are increasing. They're increasing slowly, but you know, we are finding that there's far more people coming through the doors, as I say, from a Muslim background or you know, from the Sikh community or whatever. You know, there's various other cultures that are coming to us who are requiring help as well. So.
And are the issues exactly the same?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's problems at home that maybe that the parents can't handle it as well. I should actually say as well is that even though we are a youth homeless charity and we are for young people, you know, we work very, very closely with the parents as well. So a lot of parents contact us looking for help as well, just looking for support and advice. Sometimes it's just, again, you know, someone looking for advice on a problem they've got at home, and they're looking for someone who can maybe help them with that. I mean, that's what we're here for.
You said earlier that one of the things that you do is you talk to people, you listen to people, and you try and see through their problems. Do some people come into you and they're just really looking for sympathy?
I think they're looking for people to understand that the issues they're going through. I mean, we all go through issues at times where times are difficult for whatever reasons. You know, we're having problems in a relationship, or maybe we're having problems with our career or whatever it is. And you know, people are, you know, they're looking for people to listen, and we at St Basil's are willing to listen to people and try and help them through the problems that they're experiencing. And you know, obviously our base is that we are here for young people who are at risk of homelessness or could become homeless or who are homeless. But as I say, you know, whatever those issues are at home, if there's a way in which we can find a solution, that's what we will do.
Do you find that youngsters come to you as a first resort or a last resort?
It depends, really. I mean, I think for a lot of people are too proud to look for help. Maybe there's a stigma attached to it, you know, that there's problems where they think, oh, if I go to a place like St Basil's, then you know people will look down on me. But that's not the case at all. I think that, you know, when people come to us, they realise very, very quickly that all we're trying to do is help and support them through whatever issues that they have. And that's why, you know, when we talk to the public who hopefully, and I hope that nobody ever ends up in that situation where their child ends up homeless or ends up having problems. But that's what I'm asking just now, is that people can come along and see what we do and support what we do, and hopefully, as I say, you know, feel obligated to try and help us as much as they can.
Do you find sometimes, for all the support and help that yourself and others can give them and your team of workers, that it's when they actually sit and talk to people of their own age in the same situation, that suddenly there's that, oh right, yes, I can deal with this, I can solve it?
I think there's a feeling where we all get to a point sometimes where you think, right, no, I'm the only one that's going through these problems. So when a young person comes to us looking for help, and then they realise that there's other young people as well who are facing similar problems, that's a great deal of support, and they feel, you know, like that's uplifting for a lot of people. You know, that sort of that weight on the shoulders is released, and they feel that they can grow and become the person that they want to become.
I remember one of the first stories we ran when we came on air at Big Centre was about Spider-Man in Birmingham.
Yes.
Now, he's had quite an effect on St Basil's. Tell me the story.
Well, we had a moment a couple of weeks ago where a young lad literally just walked into our youth hub in Digbeth and had £500 cash and says, I want to donate that to the charity. And we asked, you know, why would someone just come in and donate that kind of money? Because it's very rare for someone just to walk into the youth hub and do that. And he said that the Birmingham Spider-Man had influenced him to do it, told him to do it, because it turns out that the Birmingham Spider-Man, I'm sure you're aware, is this young lad that's going around dressed as Spider-Man trying to help homeless people in the city. And what he's been doing is he's been actively encouraging people to support St Basil's because of the work that we do. So obviously, you know, right now we're trying to locate this guy because obviously we'd like to thank him personally for what he's been doing.
They can't all be success stories for the people you see.
Not all the time, but I think, you know, in terms of what we do, I'd say pretty much we are able to find a solution for most of the young people that come to us. We do a lot of great work with them. You know, as I say, you know, we give them a future, we give them prospects, you know, giving them the proper skills that they need to go into the world and make a worthwhile contribution to society. So I'd say the vast majority of the people that come to us, you know, it is a success story.
Because you said, I remember you saying right at the start that 3 people have gone and got jobs with Chiltern Railways.
Yes, exactly.
So it's always good when you've got people. And I suppose some businesses may need a bit of arm twisting to get involved.
Once they hear what we're doing, they are really, really happy to get involved. We find that we do have a lot of supporters in the local community from obviously, you know, the big supermarket chains, you know, various banks, you know, people who are willing to take a chance on our young people because they see the work that we're doing. A lot of people want to get involved and help with them as well. You know, I had a lovely chat with people at KPMG recently, a big, massive company in the area. Obviously, it's a worldwide company, and having spoken to them for 5 minutes, they've decided that they want to get on board more and help us more fundraising ideas and also using their skills to help the young people we help.
Do you go into schools and youth groups and things and talk to people and say, look, you know, there's probably, I'm looking at 30 people here, there's probably 1 or 2 of you who are not very happy at the moment, and this could end up, look, this is what we should be doing? Yeah,
well, actually, I mean, after I finished here today, I'm over at a school, you know, to talk to some of the young people. We have a great project called Stamp, which you can find out a little bit more at our website, stbasils.org.uk, which goes into schools, and it's about mentoring young people, you know, making them aware of the challenges that they may face, and obviously provide support to anybody who demonstrates any problems that we can see and we think, well, we can help them.
And presumably if they are in school or in college, there will be signs, people will see them, won't they? People who teach them. They will think there's something wrong here, they're not having a wash every day, they're coming in the same clothes, they're not eating, whatever else it is.
Yeah, I mean, there are telltale signs, and I would ask if there are any issues like that if anybody identifies that, as I say, you can go to our website or our Facebook page, St Basil's Charity, just search that on Facebook and let us know what's going on.